get started. So, hello everyone. It is me, Danielle J. Mitchell, your up and coming queen of real estate, and I am here to talk with you and discuss today's and this week's Tuesday tip at 2. Listen, I wanted to pick up, hopefully, number one, you guys had a great holiday weekend last week, Thanksgiving. I hope that you did. And so last week, last episode of today's Tuesday Tip for Two, about being thankful, all that good stuff. I just wanted to have an episode of Tuesday Tip at 2 where I was talking about thankfulness. So and last week, originally, I was supposed to talk about kind of a part 2, if you will, of fixer-uppers. So I'm doing that this week, okay? And so pretty much, we're going to talk about how to not succumb to fixer-upper pitfalls, okay? These are some tips, some tools that you will need to get into a fixer-upper situation, or even if it's a renovation of your home. This will probably be helpful to you as well. But this is a Tuesday tip that will help you in regards to fixer-upper and what you need to know, being equipped to go into it, because it is a possibility. It's not as glamorized as seen on HGTV a lot of times. Even though as of late, they do a better job of showing you like the bad parts, the parts that are not so great. But it is definitely things that you can do to help to make it an easier transition, where you can get into it and feel comfortable and educated. Okay. So let's dive into it. So the number one thing that you want to do and consider when buying a fixer-upper, okay, this is prevention stuff. These are all things to do prior to buying a fixer-upper or going into the process of purchasing a fixer-upper, okay? So you want to do a home inspection, okay? So a good idea, if there is a property that you are considering considering buying. This is before you purchase. So if you have a home that you are considering buying, what you want to do is go ahead and have that home inspector with you. Have them go to that place with you. Maybe it's the second time that you saw the property, but you want to have them with you. Or if not a home inspector, maybe a contractor, right? Maybe a contractor. Inspectors, a home inspection can cost, $300, $400, depending on what you're getting done. Maybe you have a contractor, somebody who knows homes, license is helpful, but somebody that that you're going to be working with, maybe you have them come as well. It's just like if you're buying a used car and you want to bring your auto mechanic, it's the same idea. You want to bring somebody in who can let you know, this is the bad side. This may not be something that you want to get into, or maybe it could be, and you know everything that you need to do. And so it is cost effective for you to go ahead and purchase the property. All right. So a part 2 of that is estimating your renovation costs. Okay. So you want to get a good, clean estimation of renovation costs. So at the end of the day, it's all an estimation, but you want to have an idea of how much it will cost to get this home into good shape, to make it marketable, to make it so that you're coming out of the renovation with some equity. Okay. And that's whether you're looking to stay in the home or you're looking to flip the home. Either way, or you're looking at it to be a rental, an investment property. Either way, you want to make sure that you're coming out of it with some equity and that you're not it doesn't turn into a money pit. All right. So determine what permits do you need to get done, right? For structural work, window installation, room additions, sheds, garages, fences, plumbing, and electrical work. That's another reason why, trying to tame my hair, excuse me. That's another reason why it is important to have a general contractor with you, right, before you see the property or something like that, especially one that's familiar with the area that you're buying in, or that can at the very least look up what you need to do, what kind of permits. There are some horror stories, and that's why it's important to have a good contractor because there are horror stories where contractors do not always pull for permits, or they take them permits with them if you fire them. So it's important to know what permits you are going to need for that property, because if you need to switch out contractors, this is just a tidbit. If you need to switch out contractors, they take them permits with them 9 times out of 10, or they have them ordered and you don't even know what's going on with it. Okay, so it's good to know what permits are needed for the work that you want to get done. All right. So at the very least, the new contractor who comes in knows where to start. Okay. That's just a sidebar. Identify what renovation work you can do yourself, right? So depending on what kind of fixer upper it is, it might be cosmetic work that needs to get done. It may be some very simple DIY. Yeah, DIY. I was like, is it DIY or DIY? DIY things that you can do yourself, right? That you can do with the help of friends, with the help of families, or yourself, right? That you can get done that will be minor, but that will make a great difference. Whether it's the painting, whether it's a small tile job. Some people are very handy where they can do little swap out. If it's a smaller kitchen, do a little tiling or something that could substitute for that. Some people are good at putting down some flooring, whatever the case is. If you're able to do certain little projects where you don't have to get a professional to come in and do it, but it will still be quality, it'll still look good, then of course that's going to save you. You have to just pay for the material, but a lot of it, as we know, in renovation is the labor work, right? The labor costs. So if you can do things yourself, if you're handy in that way, that is definitely a plus when buying a fixer upper. So financing options. All right, so I talked about before in regards to fixer uppers, you want to make sure that you have enough money. What is your money looking like? How much do you have saved? You want to keep in those parameters and also estimate any overages, because as we talked about before, you are likely to go over. It is typical. It is the norm. You hope not to, especially if it's your first time. So you definitely want to budget accordingly. So even if you're paying mostly in cash, are you able to get the type of mortgage that would allow you to pay for the home as well as do the renovations? Okay, a lot of times if it's a conventional loan, it's called a home style conventional loan, if you will. Different lenders call them different things, but essentially it is just it will be a mortgage, and they will lump in to your mortgage the cost of the renovation. So if your renovations cost $30,000, that's an extra $30,000. Say your actual mortgage for the house to purchase the house was 170, and you needed an additional $30,000 of renovations, worth of renovations, and so your total mortgage is $200,000, and of course you will pay a mortgage according to the $200,000. Hope that makes sense. If it doesn't, you can always contact me, but I'll talk about how later. So um, there is also a FHA version as well called a FHA 203K loan. Due to the COVID-19, the pandemic, things changing in the world of mortgage banking in a lot of ways. Last I heard, it was halted for a moment. But of course, I can definitely, if you're interested, confirm that for you if it is or is not. Okay. So is a fixer-upper a good investment? We talked about this before. It can be. It certainly can be. But this is why you do your homework to make sure that you're not coming into it bottom side up or coming out of it bottom side up, if that makes sense. But that you have made an educated decision before purchasing the fixer upper, that you have the team that you need around you, whether it's your spouse, whether it's handy friends, whether it's professionals that you know that can get the job done in a timely manner, that is cost effective, okay, and that will cause the least hassle as much as possible, because it can be a very tedious journey if you're not ready and prepared and equipped for it. Okay, so those are my Tuesday tips at 2. And that's pretty much it. Listen, if you want to know more about fixer-uppers or anything else in real estate, you can certainly contact me at it's down here, bit.ly/DJM consult, and we can set up a virtual consultation and talk about it. Okay, if you are looking to buy in Philly, if you reside in Philly, real estate is still happening. Okay, real estate is still happening. We are not shut down as real estate agents, so we can still see homes. Of course, still continuing to practice the proper safety procedures and all that good stuff. Masking up, sanitizing. If we go to a showing, only 2 of us, 3 of us at a time, signing forms, all that good stuff. So, but it is still happening. It is still time. I know the holidays are coming, so people are either trying to jump on it now or they're trying to wait until the new year, which is fine as well. But listen, if you have plans to, we can still talk about it. Thanks so much. I will talk to you guys next week for a new Tuesday tip at 2. Remember, there's no place like home, no place like home buying, no place like home selling. And I will see you guys next week. Bye-bye.